Greetings, my friends. Welcome on back to Minecrafting with Ultra. Blah, 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 blah. I have some explaining to do. You see, I may have finished the village. Kind of. I kind of finished the village. Let me show you. So, pay no attention to these guys. In the main part of town here, I ended up hanging some lanterns, kind of like what we did back at the castle, as well as putting some over here. I also put in a couple custom trees, just in a few places around the village. And don't worry, these are not the custom trees that I've been hyping up for a few episodes now. Those are coming soon. I brought some bamboo down here, and I also expanded some of the vanilla trees from the forest. And we'll just take to the sky here real quick so I can show you the rest of what I did. Lots more trees, lots of fields, and the biggest waste of time of the series so far, perhaps. Behold, my poppy field. If you can guess how many poppies I had to plant behind me, I will put your face on Mount Rammore next to mine. But we've got a couple fields, we've got beetroot, we've got carrots, we've got wheat, there is a potato field up there on the hill, and none of this stuff out here really matters. This is kind of just the backdrop for the village. Just something so when we're walking up the village this way, you've got something cool kind of out in the background if you're walking around exploring. There's something you can see before it gets back to the vanilla terrain in the distance. So I did have some more plans for this place. For example, I wanted to build like a farmhouse here where this potato field is. It was originally going to be like a farmhouse to tend to the rest of the crops. And I was also going to have another house back here to serve as like maybe the guy who runs the poppy farm. But I'm kind of losing a little bit of inspiration for this project. So rather than leave it unfinished, I wanted to do something to kind of tidy it up in a way. And this is what I came up with. I hope you guys like it. This is not it though. We still have the super duper custom trees to do, and they'll be coming soon enough. That doesn't mean though that we're totally done with this area, because I do still have more ideas, and there are a few more things that I would like to do with this style in particular. I would just also really like to kind of follow my motivation and not get myself to a point where I'm feeling burned out. So I think with the rest of today's episode, and with the next episode being episode 20, a nice round number, we'll try and get everything tidied up in this area so that we can move on and do something else somewhere else. Also, sorry if that was kind of a weird way to show off the progress from the last episode. I had it all time-lapsed originally with a whole voiceover and this whole thing going on, but I ended up not liking it, so I decided I would just show you guys this way. Also in the last episode, I asked you guys to come up with a name for this village. And per usual, y'all nailed it. There were so many good suggestions for the name of the village, I couldn't pick myself. So I let you guys pick, and I chose the comment that had the most likes at the time. So, without further ado, I give to you guys, courtesy of my buddy King Sama in the comment section below, Saisho Village. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation, but Saisho means first, like King said in the comments, and this is the first village of this world, so it's only fitting. Saisho Village, our first village. What does that have to do with today's episode? Nothing. It has nothing to do with today's episode. Today we're going to be working up here on this hill, on these flat spots here. We're going to be planting trees, fixing this terrain here, and we're also going to be working alongside the castle in these areas that we cleared out forever ago when we were working on the castle foundation. I would like to bring the jungle in back up to the edge of the castle. We'll bring in more jungle trees, and we'll bring in some more bamboo and get this thing really set into the landscape. And then after that, we might put some trees and things along this side of this hill here. But then that's going to be all of the terraforming that I wanted to do to get this place ready for the custom trees next episode. I have been chopping leaves all day, collecting saplings. So I think without further ado, we are just going to jump into a time lapse and see how much of a jungle we can create. Except we're not going to do it like that because that replay footage was boring. So I'm just going to show you guys like this. Oh, it's nighttime. So let's just go for a walk and I'll show you what I did. Don't worry, we will do a time lapse later in the episode. I just learned how to do this, but stick around because I've got something special planned to show you guys. A little bit of a sneak peek, if you will. Check this out though for now. This is what I did. I planted more bamboo, I planted more trees, and I feel like it really helped to kind of seal this place into the jungle. I think it looks so cool from up here now. It looks like it's really like kind of set into the landscape more. Having the trenches filled in right next to the castle, I feel like really helps make it feel like it's actually like the jungle's kind of grown in around the castle. If that makes sense, I don't know. If I take to the sky again though, you can see I also brought the jungle up here on this flat spot, and I fixed this big hole that was over here. And I also put more trees along these flat spots on these ledges here. And I just think it kind of helps with that skyline, that horizon, whatever you want to call it there. Having those trees there really helps fill that in. So there we go. That's it. I have no more excuses to not start building the real custom trees and really start making this place look awesome. That is the last thing on the list that I think I want to do before we move on and go somewhere else for a little while. Don't be sad. We're not never coming back here. The storage is here. The farms are here. Everything is here. I just want to go build something else for a little bit. But I think if you guys have stuck around this long in this episode, you deserve something special, because I don't really feel like I've gotten a lot done, like actually on camera. Most of this has been like, hey, look, I did this. Hey, look, I did that. So if you're still here, why don't we do a little special sneak peek? I'll throw you over into a time lapse and show you an idea of what the trees are going to look like. So I don't know why, but while I was building this tree during the time lapse in the footage, as you can see here, my character was Steve for some reason. So thank you, Steve, for this beautiful tree. I actually like that tree so much, I had him build two. Check it out, you guys. Look what Steve did for us while he was here. This is the one you guys saw in the time lapse, this one over here. This was actually the second one I built. I built this one first and recorded it and was gonna try and make it all into a time lapse, but I had replay mod footage issues. So I decided to build a second tree, and that's why I came over here and did this one, recorded it, made that little time lapse of it, and there you go. There's the trees, the Sakura trees. Aren't they beautiful? Let me show you guys a couple cool little details, a couple things that I really, really like about these trees. You can see I used the 6-sided acacia logs, some tuff, as well as the, what do you call it? Mossy cobblestone, and a little bit of diorite actually for the tree, and I think it looks pretty cool. The diorite and these little coral fans kind of look like a little fungus or something growing on the side of the tree. And the same thing with the sea pickle. It's almost like maybe like a little knot in the tree, or maybe there was a branch or something there that broke off. I don't know. Put a sea pickle on your tree. They look cool. Got a little bee's nest up there. Just a couple cool little details like that. I also hid some of the spore blossoms up in there so we get that cool little particle effect. And we're gonna do these everywhere. I want to have them all around the valley, surrounding this entire pathway, all the way up, even up to the pagoda. We'll have a few up here, and a few over here, and maybe even a couple around the village. I hope you guys like how this village came together. And also, I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode and the series so far. This one, I have to apologize that it took a little bit longer to get this episode out to you. But it's springtime where I live, and I have finally begun to be hit with some nice weather. So with that, I have actually been logging into real life a little bit more often and going outside and walking through the woods and spending some time just enjoying the weather and things like that. But next episode is going to be huge. Next episode, we're going to get all these trees done. We're going to start packing up, and we're going to get ready to say goodbye to this area. For now, again, not a permanent thing. So let me know down in the comments below, were the trees worth the hype? Also, if you want your face on Mount Rammore, don't forget to guess how many poppies you think I planted. I think we'll end the episode here, watching the sunset over Saisho Village. As always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and watching these episodes, especially if you stick around this far. I love you guys to death. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Forgive me if it takes a little while. Again, nice weather. But as always, thanks for watching. Take care for now, and I will see you guys next time.